Why are we fighting? Hi there, I'm Julie Turner, Julieturner.ca, and I would like us to look at a thought process today. So the thought process that came to me this morning is, why are we fighting? And don't get me wrong, this has come to me for many days, maybe months, possibly even years, around different scenarios. But what I'd like to talk to you about and to have you, if you will, look at as well today is, why are we fighting what is happening in our world today? Now, I'm not saying that you should agree with everything that's happening in our world today, and I'm not saying that you should be complacent, but we seem to be namelessly, facelessly fighting for whatever we believe. And again, I'm not saying to just lay down and allow whatever to happen to you. But when we fight, we get angry. And it's come to me that that doesn't really support us. So what I want to look at is possibly why we don't realize that there are some things in our world, in our universe, in whatever the case may be, that just are. And we don't have to fight everything every little step of the way. But there's a few of us that really feel like we do. So we either have to argue for what is, which is always very interesting to me. It's always very interesting when people get their way and have to go, ha, see, you had to believe me. Just because you got your way does not make you right. Just because you didn't get your way does not make you wrong. There are so many things in our world that are truly not about right or wrong. I talk about freedom all the time. And one of the things that I truly believe is freedom, and this has changed for me. Trust me, I love, one thing I love about my mind, I'm going to compliment myself, or at least my mind now, is that I am actually able to go, crap, I was wrong about that. Cool. That's awesome. I'm glad that I know now differently. And again, sometimes it's not necessarily that I was wrong. It's just that I am no longer correct about how things are right here and now. For example, you get knowledge. We always talk about science. Science says, well, science is constantly progressing. So it makes me a little crazy when people said, well, if you follow the science. Well, you know what? If we always followed the science and stopped, checking in on science, we would be in a vastly different place. Thank goodness science is constantly progressing. Science is like, we were wrong, oops. So that's what we should be doing with our own minds. We should constantly be progressing. So that's what I think true freedom is. True freedom is for us to be able to go, it might be possible that I'm not 100% right about this. Let's see how things go. But no, that's not what we do. We go, yes, that feels right. And trust me, when something feels right, that doesn't necessarily mean that it is. It means it's familiar to you. So that can be like catastrophically wrong, just FYI, especially when you look at relationships. Something that's familiar is not necessarily the right path to go down. Anyway, true freedom is knowing that it's okay if you're wrong. As a matter of fact, you're likely going to be wrong multiple times a day about multiple different things. And that's okay. You know what one of my least favorite sentences in the human language is? But I thought you said. It means to me, well, there's no way that you can change or grow because you said this yesterday. And you know what? I am always more than happy to say, you know what? With the knowledge that I have now and with the research that I've done, I now realize that this is true. Just saying. So, why are we fighting? Why do we fight ourselves? It is so difficult for the human mind to admit to being wrong. And we don't consciously realize that. Subconsciously, our subconscious is a library for us. So everything that we've seen, heard, learned in our lives is stored in that library. So when something comes into our conscious mind, without us knowing, goes down into our subconscious and goes, oh, this is what makes that familiar. Great, we'll use that theory. Not always right. It's just your library. It's not everybody else's library. So my thought for today is, can we please stop yelling at our neighbors? Can we please stop putting our beliefs forward and just be? Be human beings, not human doings, not people that are out there tattling on our neighbors like we're in preschool. Sorry, that was very judgmental. I'm not perfect. Sometimes I'm judgmental. Anyway, I would like to do a guidance card for you guys. It's been a while since I did a guidance card, so I would like to do that. I'd like to see what we need to do instead of constantly fighting ourselves and each other. Working towards true freedom. The ability to go, oh crap, I'm not right about everything. Just because I believe it doesn't make it so. Who knew? So, what are we going to do instead of that? What an interesting thought. What are we going to do instead of that? Let's see what the guidance cards have to say today. So if you are scrolling social media right now and you're like, oh, how could that person say that? They are so wrong. Stop. Stop. Do not participate. None of your freaking business what that other person said. You cannot virtue signal your belief systems throughout the whole world. And what's going to happen when you do find out you might have been wrong? What if you get that sentence fed to you, but I thought you said? How horrific would that be? So possibly we just need to allow things. Possibly we just need to do what's best for us and let the rest of the world do what's best for them. I do love the cards. We got the High Lady of Compassion. What does the High Lady of Compassion mean? That means look in the frickin' mirror and realize that you're not always right. Have compassion for yourself and for others. I don't mean to point fingers at you. If you're feeling like I'm pointing a finger at you, that's kind of you, not me. High Lady of Compassion. That's our guidance today. Be compassionate. I've said it a million times. I will say it a million more. Lead with love. When you get angry, when you feel like you need to stand up and be angry, feel that inside of you and realize, holy crap, I don't need that. That's not good for me. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with all of the emotions. We should have all of our emotions. There's no question about that. However, you can also go, you know what? Maybe I don't need to fight that fight today. Maybe I can actually look at that friend of mine, because it's generally your friends that you're freaking out on. Don't forget that. And say, hey, why do you feel that way? Maybe I can learn something today. Maybe you can learn something from me. Just a thought. If you have any questions, if you need support, and literally, of course I do hypnosis, I can help you release all of those things that you feel that you have to hold on to tooth and nail. There's nothing we need to hold on to tooth and nail. Literally nothing. Julieturner.ca. I look forward to hearing from you. Thank you so much for your time today. Have a wonderful day.